All right, let's jump right in. We're all picturing the factory of the future, right? It's filled with smart, self-correcting machines run by this incredible industrial AI. It's a super exciting vision. But there's a secret, a hidden hero in this whole story that almost never gets the credit it deserves. And today, we're going to put a big old spotlight right on it.
But here's the thing. There's this huge question that just hangs over all this amazing innovation. With all this tech, with these brilliant algorithms, why do so many of these big, ambitious AI projects just fizzle out, you know? They promise the moon, but they barely get off the ground. Well, we're about to pull back the curtain on the #1 reason why.
And that really gets us to our first big topic, the massive gap between the dream of industrial AI and the gritty reality of actually making it work.
I mean, the dream is just so compelling, isn't it? Picture a factory that can literally see its own future. Machines that tell you, hey, I'm going to need maintenance next Tuesday. Supply chains that reroute themselves because of a storm halfway across the world. Every single move optimized by AI. That's the vision that gets everyone writing checks.
But here comes the reality check. The single biggest reason these projects fail isn't the fancy AI model. It's not the algorithm. It's the data. The raw, messy, sometimes completely chaotic information we're trying to feed into these incredibly smart systems. You see, bad data is the real villain of the story.
So, what happens if we just ignore this villain? What's the big deal? Well, the consequences aren't just some numbers on a spreadsheet. They come with a real and often a very, very high cost. And this quote it nails it. This isn't about your AI being off by a tiny little bit. It means your predictions become useless. And even worse, the people on the factory floor, the ones who have to act on these predictions, they stop trusting the system. And once that trust is gone, your whole AI initiative is basically dead in the water.
And you can see the real-world damage right here. For predictive maintenance, bad data means more machines breaking down when you least expect it. That's downtime, that's money. In a regulated space like pharma manufacturing, messy data isn't just an oopsie. It can lead to huge compliance risks with bodies like the FDA and supply chains. Oh, it's just pure chaos. You've got too much of one product, not enough of another, and shipments that never show up. These are not small mistakes. They are massive business failures.
So, who are the troublemakers causing all this chaos? Let's meet the usual suspects, the data culprits that are sabotaging AI projects from the inside.
I mean, just think about it for a second. You've got sensors that just stop working for a few minutes, leaving these big gaps in your data. Or you have two machines whose clocks are just a few seconds off, which totally scrambles the sequence of events. You get noisy signals, it's like static on the radio for your data, or, and this is a big one, you're trying to predict something really rare, like a catastrophic failure. How can an AI learn what to look for if it almost never sees it? Each one of these things on its own can poison your dataset.
Okay, it sounds like a complete mess, I get it. But the good news is there's a way to fight back. There's a systematic approach to taming all this data chaos.
I absolutely love this analogy because it's perfect. Before a master chef even dreams of turning on the heat, they do their mise en place, right? Every vegetable is chopped, every spice is measured, everything is in its place. That's exactly what data preprocessing is for AI. It's the disciplined, essential prep work that makes a masterpiece possible.
So at the end of the day, here's what it is. Data preprocessing is the bridge. It's the thing that takes all that raw, wild data from your sensors and machines and carefully transforms it into the clean, organized, reliable fuel that your AI model actually needs to run.
And look, it's not some kind of magic. It's a structured process, a clear workflow. You bring the data in and make sure it's valid. Then you get all the clocks in sync so the timeline makes sense. You clean out all the noise and the errors. You transform the data to pull out the most important signals, those are your features. Then you label it. And, critically, you track every single step so you can always repeat it.
And this is where all that hard, meticulous prep work really starts to pay off. Let's see how we turn that squeaky clean data into real, valuable action.
This pipeline shows the entire journey, start to finish. You begin with the messy, raw stuff from the sensors. That preprocessing workflow turns it into clean, consistent logs. From that, you extract the key signals, the predictive inputs. The AI model then takes those and spits out a score, a prediction. And finally, boom, that score triggers a real-world action, like an alert to schedule maintenance. And
you have to get this. This is maybe the most important point. Every single little choice you make way back in that preparation phase, how you decide to handle a missing value, how you align those clocks, it has a huge ripple effect. It directly determines whether the final decision your AI makes is safe, whether it's accurate, and ultimately whether it's worth anything at all.
So let's boil it all down. If you're going to walk away from this with just one thing stuck in your head, what should it be? Let's get to the final takeaway.
It's really that simple. You can have the fanciest, most expensive, most powerful AI model on the planet, but if you feed it garbage data, you are going to get garbage results every single time. The quality of your data is the foundation for everything else.
And that really just leaves us with one last question for you to think about. When you look at your own projects, your own operations, do you see your data as a priceless asset, something to be carefully crafted and prepared? Or is it a liability, an unmanaged mess that's quietly holding you back? Because the answer to that question might just decide the future of your entire AI strategy.